Welcome to a very special subbrief presentation. Today's topic is network-centric warfare. This one's written by our lead technical writer, Tayfun Ozbrek, who researched and developed this presentation today. He offers this to navies around the world. Most recently, Columbia Officer Corps received this training, and he is currently working with training other nations. This is just an insight of one of the services we provide. Network-centric warfare. So we're going to go over the history, the development, practical applications to naval forces. NCW has evolved over time. It's transforming the Navy battle space today. And today we'll explore the specific case studies to illustrate real-world impact and consider what the future holds as the technology continues to evolve. Network-centric warfare is sponsored by DeleteMe. DeleteMe is a hands-free subscription service that will remove your personal information that's being sold online. DeleteMe's privacy experts will remove your personal information from hundreds of data brokers all year long. What's a data broker? A data broker is a person that uses software to scrape information off the internet. They collect your personal information like your phone number and your address, for example, and then they sell them in what's called packages to online websites who then charge a subscription fee to the public to view where you live, what your phone number is, and much more information about you that you probably don't want out there. DeleteMe will remove your personal data, like your phone number and address, from those sites, and then monitor those sites and repeat removal request if necessary. You'll get your privacy report within 7 days of signing up with DeleteMe. So get 20% off DeleteMe's US consumer plans when you go to joindeleteme.com/subbrief20 and then use promo code subbrief20 at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/subbrief20. Use promo code subbrief20. Let's start by defining network-centric warfare in the naval context. I'm sure many of you are aware of this concept, but to put it simply, NCW leverages digital information networks to link elements of a fighting force, whether it's ships, aircraft, or ground units, into a single integrated system. This enables what we call information superiority, where decisions are based on real-time data sharing across networks, providing a significant operational advantage. There are three primary principles to NCW. One is information superiority. It's about having the right information at the right time, ensuring that it reaches the right people. This creates a shared operational picture that ensures decision-making. Two, self-synchronization. Units can act more autonomously, but still in concert with each other, without needing to consult top-down control. This reduces decision cycles and increases operational agility. Three, speed of operation. Faster, more informed decisions can be made and executed more quickly, which can outpace the adversary's ability to respond. This concept transforms naval warfare from being platform-centric, where each asset operates more independently, to network-centric, where all assets operate in coordinated, unified manners. With that foundation in place, let's move on to the historical context and how this shift took place. To understand the significance of network-centric warfare, we need to first look at how naval communication evolved. Traditionally, naval warfare relied on visual signals, semaphore, and later radio communication. These methods were effective for their time, but had severe limitations in terms of range, speed, and ability to coordinate complex operations across the fleet. Ships operated more independently, and any kind of command and control was relatively slow, limited by the available technology. Tactical decisions often relied on line-of-sight communication, which could be unreliable, especially in complex naval engagements. The lack of real-time communication and data sharing meant that naval forces couldn't synchronize their actions effectively, which impacted their operational flexibility and decision-making speed. Fast forward to the Cold War era, a period marked by significant technological advancements. It was during this time that we first saw the introduction of digital communication systems into naval operations. The Cold War naval forces, particularly the US and the Soviet Union, began to incorporate computers and early network technologies to share intelligence and improve situational awareness. These were the early days that would eventually evolve into network-centric warfare. Systems like Naval Tactical Data Systems, or NTDS, which were first developed by the US Navy in the 1960s, allowed ships to share real-time data on enemy positions and coordinate air defense operations. This was a significant leap from the isolated platform-centric operations of the past. A critical component to network-centric warfare is C4ISR, Command Control Communications Computers, Intelligence Surveillance Reconnaissance. During the Cold War, these systems began to evolve and play a central role in naval operations. C4ISR systems allowed greater data collection, processing, and sharing across fleets. Ships and aircraft could now operate with a shared understanding of the battle space based on real-time intelligence gathered from various sensors and communication networks. This concept laid the groundwork for the fully integrated systems we see today in NCW. It was no longer just about having superior firepower, but about having superior information and the ability to act on that information faster than the adversary. The 1990s marked the true beginning of network-centric warfare as a defined concept. The U.S. military, particularly the Navy, began to officially adopt network-centric principles into their doctrine. This shift was driven by the rapid development and advancement of digital and network technologies during this period. One of the key drivers was that the recognition of modern warfare would increasingly be fought in an information-rich environment. The ability to connect all elements of a naval force, from surface ships to submarines to aircraft, into a single integrated network was seen as a critical advantage. This period also saw the emergence of systems like the Aegis combat system, which connected sensors and weapons across multiple platforms, allowing them to work together in a cohesive whole. This approach enabled faster decision-making and more precise targeting, shifting naval warfare from being platform-centric to network-centric. Now that we've covered the historical context of how network-centric concepts evolved, let's move on to the core principles of network-centric warfare, how they fundamentally change the way naval forces operate. The foundation of NCW is built around three key elements: information superiority. At the heart of NCW is the ability to gather, process, disseminate more accurate information faster than the adversary. In naval terms, this means ships, submarines, aircraft, and command centers are all connected, sharing data in real time to create a common operating picture. Self-synchronization, this principle allows units to operate autonomously yet still act in concert. For example, in a traditional operation, a ship would wait for orders from Central Command. In NCW, they can adjust and respond independently based on real-world information without losing coordination with other units. Speed of command. Faster decision-making is a key advantage to NCW. With all units sharing the same situational awareness, decisions can be made and executed more rapidly than in traditional warfare. This speed often translates directly into operational success. These elements fundamentally change how we conduct operations, moving us from isolated actions to integrated, highly coordinated naval operations. The success of NCW relies heavily on the network infrastructure that enables real-time communication and data sharing. This infrastructure includes satellite systems, secure communication networks, and advanced sensors that gather, relay information across an entire force. At sea, platforms such as surface ships, submarines, and aircraft are all connected through this secure network, which ensures that every element of the force has the same operational picture. For instance, satellite communication provides global coverage, linking naval forces across vast distances, while sensors on board ships and drones feed real-time data into the network. The result is enhanced situational awareness and improved ability to coordinate complex naval operations over large areas. Without this network infrastructure, NCW would not be possible. It's what allows us to turn information into actionable intelligence and ultimately into combat power. One of the most significant operational advantages in network-centric warfare is its impact on decision-making. With real-time data flowing across the network, commanders can make faster, more informed decisions. In traditional naval warfare, there's often a delay in gathering information, making decisions, and executing those decisions. With NCW, this process is streamlined. Commanders have access to the most up-to-date intelligence, whether it's the movement of enemy vessels, changing weather patterns, or status of friendly forces. This shared situational awareness not only accelerates decision-making, but also improves the quality of those decisions. The ability to react quickly to changing conditions in the battle space is a key advantage in modern naval operations. In other words, NCW gives naval forces the ability to act faster than their adversary, which can be decisive in a conflict. So what are the direct operational benefits of NCW in naval warfare? Well, one is force multiplication. NCW allows naval forces to achieve more with fewer resources by leveraging information superiority and real-time coordination. It increases the combat effectiveness of each unit by integrating them into a larger network. Agility. Naval forces can respond to threats and changing conditions with greater flexibility. The shared network allows us to decentralize decision-making, which means units can adapt without waiting for centralized commands. Precision. The real-time data provided by NCW improves the accuracy of targeting, whether that's in missile defense or offensive operations. Commanders can strike more precisely, reducing collateral damage and improving mission success rates. Coordination. NCW enhances coordination between different elements of a naval force. Whether it's a surface ship, submarine, aircraft, or ground forces, they can all operate with a unified understanding of the battle space, leading to a more synchronized, effective operation. In summary, NCW gives naval forces a significant operational edge, turning information superiority into combat power. Now that we've covered the core principles of NCW, let's look at some of the key technological developments that have enabled these principles in practice. We'll also examine a few case studies where NCW has been applied successfully in real-world naval operations. Let's start with the Gulf War, which was one of the earliest demonstrations of network-centric capabilities. Although not fully realized yet as NCW, the U.S. Navy played a critical role during this conflict, using advanced communication systems, digital networks to coordinate large-scale operations. One example is the integration of the Tomahawk cruise missile, which were launched from naval platforms and guided in real-time with real-time intelligence, often gathered through satellite feeds. This was a precursor to what would become the core of NCW, using real-time data to strike targets with precision while coordinating across various units. Although NCW wasn't formally defined at this point, the Gulf War highlighted the importance of real-time communication, intelligence sharing, and coordinated actions, which laid the foundation for network-centric doctrines that followed the 1990s. Now let's look at how naval platforms themselves have evolved with NCW. Modern naval assets are no longer just isolated platforms, but part of a much larger interconnected network. For example, modern aircraft carriers like the Gerald R. Ford class carriers are equipped with advanced sensor suites, communication systems, and combat management systems that allow them to serve as hubs within a broader network. Submarines and surface ships equipped with similar systems can share real-time data on enemy positions, surveillance footage, and targeting information. These platforms are no longer limited by their own sensors. They are part of a much larger system that integrates intelligence from various sources, including unmanned aerial vehicles and satellite data. This evolution is central to NCW, where each unit operates as part of an integrated system rather than independently. One of the most important aspects of network-centric warfare is the ability to share real-time data across multiple platforms. Take the Aegis combat system, for example. Aegis-equipped ships are part of an integrated air and missile defense network that can track and intercept enemy missiles or aircraft based on real-time data from multiple sources. The system not only uses its own radar, but can pull in data from other ships, aircraft, and satellites to create a comprehensive air defense network. The ability to share this information in real time means that the entire naval task force can respond more effectively and with greater precision. In a combat situation, this real-time coordination allows naval forces to detect and engage threats before they become a danger, and it enables multi-domain integration where air, sea, and cyber assets work together seamlessly. Moving forward to Operation Iraqi Freedom in 2003, we saw NCW concepts fully realized. The U.S. Navy used network systems extensively during the initial stages of the conflict, from Tomahawk missile strikes to coordinating with the ground and air forces. Naval forces utilizing C4 ISR systems to integrate surveillance, intelligence, and targeting information from multiple platforms. Drones, satellites, and manned reconnaissance aircraft all fed data into the shared network, providing commanders with a comprehensive real-time picture on the battlefield. This allowed for highly coordinated strikes, with naval forces playing a central role in delivering precision-guided munitions, while also supporting ground forces with integrated and targeting information. This operation showcased the full potential of NCW, where speed of information and decision-making were critical to mission success. Another key development in network-centric warfare is the use of drones, particularly unmanned aerial vehicles and unmanned underwater vehicles. These platforms are now an integral part of modern naval operations, providing both reconnaissance and strike capabilities. Drones feed real-time intelligence into the network, giving commanders and operators access to persistent surveillance capability. For example, a UAV can provide real-time imagery of enemy movements, which can then be shared with ships and aircraft for immediate action. UAVs and UUVs also allow for more flexible operations, especially in environments where manned platforms might face significant risk. These unmanned systems are a perfect fit for NCW, as they provide extended range, persistent surveillance, and reduce risk to personnel while feeding critical data into the larger network. In naval warfare, satellite communication systems are essential for providing global, secure, and reliable communications, especially over vast distances that naval forces operate. Satellites enable the long-range connectivity required by NCW. Systems like Mobile User Objective Systems, MUOS, provide global communication network that links naval forces with the broader joint force and intelligence agencies. Satellite systems also support real-time targeting, surveillance, and command and control, even when units are dispersed over vast oceans. Without satellite communications, NCW would be far less effective, as ships and aircraft would not be able to maintain real-time data flow needed to synchronize operations. With the increasing reliance on network systems comes an equally important change: cybersecurity. As more naval operations depend on real-time data sharing and interconnected systems, the risk of cyber attack becomes a critical concern. Naval forces face a growing threat from adversaries that may attempt to disrupt communications, manipulate data, or even take the key systems through cyber warfare. This means cyber defense must be built at every level of the NCW architecture. The challenge is to ensure that the network remains secure, even in contested environments, and that naval operations can continue uninterrupted despite cyber threats. The development of resilient and redundant systems is key to maintaining operational integrity of NCW in the face of their growing cyber risks. One of the major strengths of network-centric warfare is its ability to enhance interoperability among allied forces. NCW allows different nations' navies to integrate their systems and shared information in real time, which is especially important in joint operations or coalition warfare. NATO exercises are a great example of this, where forces from multiple nations can operate together as part of a unified network. This interoperability ensures that each nation's forces can contribute to the mission while maintaining a common operational picture. The ability to share data across allied platforms is critical for effective joint naval operations, particularly when facing complex multi-theater challenges such as piracy, humanitarian missions, and high-intensity conflicts. In recent years, the South China Sea has been a hotspot for demonstrating the effectiveness of network-centric warfare. Naval forces operating in this region have used NCW systems for surveillance, intelligence gathering, and coordinating maneuvers in contested waters. The ability to monitor and track vessels and aircraft in real time, combined with the use of satellites, UAVs, and surface ships, has allowed navies to maintain situational awareness and respond quickly to potential threats. In such a strategically important and contested region, the role of NCW becomes clear. Now that we've seen the technologies and case studies that define NCW, let's take a look at the strategic and tactical impacts of network-centric warfare on modern naval operations. As we've seen, network-centric warfare transforms not only the technology behind naval operations, but also the way we approach tactics. In traditional naval warfare, platforms like ships, submarines, and aircraft operate more independently, with tactical decisions made by each unit based on limited information. With NCW, we shift towards networked tactics. This means all units, from the largest carrier to the smallest drone, operate as part of a larger network, sharing real-time intelligence and coordinating their actions. This networked approach enhances situational awareness and allows for more flexibility and adaptive tactics. For example, a surface ship can receive intelligence from a UAV and adjust its course or target enemy assets based on real-time data without needing to wait for orders from central command. NCW also enables more precise and coordinated strikes, as forces can synchronize their actions across multiple domains, sea, air, cyber, simultaneously. One of the most profound changes NCW brings to naval operations is in the area of decision-making. Traditionally, decisions were made centrally, with orders passed down through chains of command. In NCW, the real-time flow of data across networks allows for a decentralized decision-making. This means that commanders at various levels can make faster, more informed decisions based on shared intelligence. Autonomous systems also play a growing role in this process. For example, unmanned aerial vehicles or UUVs can autonomously gather intelligence or even engage in combat operations, feeding data back to the network in real time. However, while autonomy can speed up operations, it also presents challenges. The key is finding the right balance between human oversight and machine autonomy. Commanders still need to maintain control over critical decisions while leveraging the speed and efficiency of automated systems. A key tactical concept that has emerged alongside NCW is distributed lethality. This is the idea that offensive power should be spread out across a wide array of naval platforms rather than concentrated on a few high-value assets, such as aircraft carriers. NCW enables this by providing the connectivity and shared intelligence needed to coordinate dispersed naval forces. Each platform, whether it's a destroyer, submarine, or UAV, can operate more independently while still contributing to the overall combat mission. This approach enhances survivability by reducing the enemy's ability to target key assets and increase combat power by turning every unit into a potential offensive threat. With NCW, the dispersed forces remain tightly coordinated, able to share targeting data, and synchronize their attacks in real time. Network-centric warfare offers significant operational advantages. It also introduces new challenges. One of the primary issues is the complexity of integrating various systems and platforms into a cohesive network. Naval forces operate in some of the most challenging environments on Earth: vast oceans, hostile cyber environments, electromagnetic interference, all of which can degrade network performance. Ensuring the reliability and secure communication in these conditions is a constant challenge. There's also the issue of training. NCW requires not only advanced technology, but also highly trained personnel that can operate within this complex network. Commanders and operators must be able to adapt in rapid changes to the battle space and make real-time decisions based on the data available to them. Finally, there is a risk of overall reliance on networks. If an adversary can disrupt the network through cyber attacks, jamming, or physical destruction of critical infrastructure, it would severely impact our ability to conduct operations. Therefore, building resilience into NCW systems is a top priority. As we've seen, network-centric warfare has already transformed naval operations. But what comes next? Let's look at some of the future trends in naval warfare and how new technologies such as AI, quantum computing will shape future NCW. Looking ahead, artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning, ML, will play a critical role in the evolution of network-centric warfare. These technologies will enhance the ability of naval forces to process vast amounts of data in real time, allowing commanders to make faster and more accurate decisions. AI can be used to automate data analysis, providing insight from intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, ISR, data to far more quickly than human operators could. For example, AI systems can sift through satellite imagery, radar data, and signals intelligence to identify potential threats or track enemy movements. Additionally, predictive analysis powered by AI can help naval forces anticipate enemy actions and prepare for potential scenarios before they unfold. This could improve decision-making during critical phases of naval operations. Machine learning systems can also be applied to cyber defense, identifying and responding to cyber threats in real time, making the network more resilient to attacks. However, integrating AI into naval operation requires robust testing and validation to ensure decisions made by AI are both reliable and trustworthy. Another major trend that will impact network-centric warfare is the growing importance of space-based assets. Naval forces are increasingly reliant on satellite communication, surveillance, and navigation systems, which are critical for maintaining global interconnected networks. As more nations develop anti-satellite weapons and other capabilities that threaten space assets, securing these systems becomes essential. The ability to maintain satellite communication and ISR capabilities, even in contested environments, will be a key factor in future naval operations. Moreover, we're seeing the development of military space operations where space will become an active domain of warfare. The U.S. Navy, along with other branches of the military, will need to ensure that space-based assets are integrated into the broader network and protected from both kinetic and non-kinetic threats. The ability to deploy satellites, defend against anti-satellite operations, and integrate space-based data into real-time naval operations will be a critical component in future NCW. As we look towards the future, one of the most exciting and potentially disruptive technologies on the horizon is quantum computing. Quantum computing has the potential to revolutionize encryption and secure communications, which are essential to NCW. Today's encryption methods, which secure data transmission across NCW networks, will be rendered obsolete by quantum computers capable of breaking current encryption algorithms. However, quantum encryption offers the possibly near unbreakable security, which would be a game changer for secure naval communications. Quantum computing can also vastly improve data processing capabilities, enabling even faster analysis of vast data sets. This would significantly enhance real-time decision-making and further integrate naval platforms into a seamless network. That said, we're still several years away from fully realizing the potential of quantum technologies, but they're undoubtedly on the horizon and will be key in ensuring cyber resilience in future naval operations. So let's quickly recap the key points we've discussed so far. History and evolution. We started by looking at the evolution of naval warfare from traditional communication methods to the development of digital systems that laid the groundwork for network-centric warfare. Core principles of NCW. We explored the core elements of NCW, including information superiority, self-synchronization, and speed of command, which fundamentally enhance operational effectiveness. Technological developments. We examined the technologies that make NCW possible, such as satellite communications, UAVs, real-time data sharing networks, and saw how they've been applied to real-world operations. Strategic and tactical impacts. We discussed how NCW reshapes naval tactics through distributed lethality and decentralized decision-making, as well as the challenges that come with integrating complex systems. Case studies. We examined case studies that determine real-world impact to network-centric warfare, NCW. These case studies show how NCW can effectively apply to various military operations, emphasizing the importance of real-time data sharing, precision, and coordination across naval forces. Future trends. We also discussed future trends, including advancements in AI, space warfare, quantum computing. These technologies will play a transformative role in shaping the next generation of NCW, enhancing decision-making, situational awareness, and operational capabilities. Challenges. Finally, we addressed some of the challenges addressed in terms of cybersecurity and interoperability. As we become more reliant on interconnected systems, ensuring secure, resilient networks and the ability to operate seamlessly across allied forces will be more critical to maintaining an operational advantage in the future. In closing, network-centric warfare has already transformed naval operations and will continue to do so as new technologies emerge. Its ability to connect platforms, enhance decision-making, and increase operational effectiveness makes it a critical component in modern warfare. However, as we discussed, the integration of these systems comes with its own challenges, particularly ensuring cybersecurity, maintaining resilient communication networks, and preparing naval forces to operate in an increasingly data-driven environment. Moving forward, it will be critical to keep adapting and evolving, not only to take full advantage of the technological advances available, but also to counter emerging threats in areas like cyber, space, and informational warfare. This has been Network-Centric Warfare. Thanks for listening. Remember to check out the sponsor Delete Me and use promo code subbrief20 at checkout to save 20% off.